Dunbar. Those are our windows.
There he is.
And there he is.
Hi, how you doing?
Very good. We'll explain why he's dangling outside.
You need to get in here, though, so we can chat to you.
It's pretty cold out there, isn't it, mate?
No, it's actually very, very pleasant.
You've got a big crowd as well watching you.
So I can hear, yeah.
We'll explain all in a moment. We'll get you down off that rope and inside.
Brilliant.
See you in a bit, Dean.
See you shortly. Bye-bye.
There we are. Listen to this incredibly inspirational guy. At the age of 27, Dean Dunbar was diagnosed with rod and cone dystrophy, a rare condition which meant that he lost the sight in both of his eyes.
At this point in his life, Dean says he had two choices. One, to sit at home and moan a lot, or two, to get out there and do something. And from his entrance into the studio this morning, you can guess which one he chose.
Welcome, mate.
Thank you.
Good to see you. So thank you very much indeed for coming in. Let's see, how much can you see now?
Right, I can see that the two of you are there, but I can't see, say, if Holly has got a beard or. You know,
I have.
You know,
she
it's
has.
a real thing. I'm trying to get rid of it.
That's basically I can see that you're there, but I couldn't tell if you were looking towards me, if you were looking out the window because you're bored stiff of what I'm saying.
We've got a picture here of, and this is a picture of what you can see.
This is from your website, I think.
Right. Yeah.
And then I think if we can sharpen that up and show what it actually is. So yes, so that's.
I understand.
And this started when you were about 9.
That's right. When I was 9, I had perfect eyesight till then, and then one day sitting at school, I was looking at the blackboard and I couldn't make head nor tail of what the teacher was writing. Yeah. And for a week or two I was copying off a friend until he kind of grasped me up to the teacher and said, "Yo, this is what's happening." And then from the age of 9 to 27 I was registered as partially sighted. Yeah. And then unfortunately when I was 27 my eyesight deteriorated to the point where I'm now registered blind. And that's where I am now. So. But
it hasn't stopped you. If anything, it's introduced you to this whole side of your life that before you didn't do. I mean, what was the first thing that you did?
The first thing was a tandem skydive. I wanted to do a solo skydive, but because of my eyesight, that wasn't allowed. So they said, we'll do a tandem. And part of that is because you're doing the tandem, you don't have to worry about the ropes, you just enjoy it. So I had this free fall at the beginning, and that's really what kicked the adrenaline. You know, the buzz started there and it hasn't stopped since. Well,
you could have gone, as we said in the introduction, and we've been saying all morning, you could have gone, it could have been either way. Yeah. You could have decided, right, that's it, I'm gonna stay at home, I'm gonna mope. I mean, you said that when you found out that the diagnosis was as bad as it was, that you cried all the way home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I had... I finished the appointment, I had 2 hours between that and starting work, and basically I spent those 2 hours very upset, crying some of the time, but yeah, I was kind of thinking, what do I do? But at that time I was working at the local blind school, and as soon as I got back working with the kids again, you kind of look at the kids and think, well, hang on, they've got a hell of a lot worse deal than I have. Yes. What have I got to worry about, you know? So I had my 2 hours down, and every year I get a few hours here or there where I get a wee bit down, but, you know, you've got to take that. You know, just one of those things. So,
so that's Holly mentioned your first accomplishment there. So once you decided to do that, you say that as you were coming down through the air and you got to the ground, that was it. You'd become addicted to adrenaline.
Totally, totally. As soon as my feet touched the ground, it was like, where do I go next? I've got to get this feeling again. The buzz was just, you know, I could imagine it was, you know, something like if you're, I don't know, taking drugs or whatever the high is that people get, you know, from different things. That was it for me, and it was just, where do I go for my next fix? Well,
you abseiled. Now, this is our highest waterfall. Yeah. How do you pronounce the name of it?
Don't ask me, because it's Gaelic.
I was relying on you.
It's something along the lines of Ias Shualian, something along those lines, but someone out there is probably going to be throwing bricks at the television now.
Well, we can see it, and it looks beautiful. So this is this incredible waterfall, and you decided you wanted to aquasail.
That's right, yeah.
So it's like abseiling but down water.
Yeah, aquasailing is pure when you're just abseiling a waterfall, nothing else. It's purely that. Some people used to call it canyoning, but the purists would say, oh, canyoning is when you do swimming and jumping and all these other things down the canyon. As this is purely a waterfall, it's classed as aquasailing.
And nobody had ever done this before?
No, this waterfall, as far as we've done some research, no one's ever tried it before. So there was 3 of us that did it, and we were the first group to do that. So,
it was a bit of a worry, wasn't it? Because it had rained very heavily, and so, so the river was in flood at the time.
Yeah, well, they'd had 3 days of flooding in the area, and when we we got there to look at it. We had to kayak in to get to base camp, and then we went and had a look at it. And the chap who was leading the expedition, Ben Starkey, he took a look from the bottom and said, right, it's awful big. I'm not sure if it's possible, but we'll get ourselves up there and have a look. So we got up there, had a look, and he said, it looks okay. And then he looked over and went, about 50 foot down there's a sharp rock that's going to slice the ropes off. We're going to be in trouble. I'll have to go down and have a look. So he abseiled down and had a quick look. We're all at the top going, oh no, is it going to be cancelled? And he came back up and says, no, I think we can get past it. And sure enough, we did.
I think. I'm not sure if that would be good enough for me.
Well, to be honest, the next day we did actually leave the rope overnight, and the next day when we went to get it, the rope was pretty much cut through the force of the water and the wind and everything else that we're going through.
Oh, Dean, don't tell me things like that. Oh, it gives me nightmares. And you've done bungee jumping from a helicopter, whitewater sledge, the world's highest commercially run waterfall, that's what you said, been thrown 100 foot by the dangerous sports club's
Human
catapult.
Yep.
These all sound horrendous, and you put yourself up for these things.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
We're just watching you jumping off the bridge. God, you went in the water.
Yeah, I think that was. It was kind of planned. They said, did anyone want to do it? It was the middle of winter in New Zealand, so of course no one put the hand up apart from me. And they said, well, this is a new bungee rope. So I said, well, how much is going to get wet? And they said, if you really stretch out, you might get your wrists, you might even get up to your elbows. So, of course, I really stretched out and got right up to my waist.
Look at it, we're just watching you for the second time here now. We've heard you talk about it, and splosh, there you go. That's got to be a bit of a shock if you don't... I mean, because a fully sighted person would know that was coming.
Yeah, I've just got my arms stretched out and thinking, anytime now, anytime now, anytime now. And I was there.
And also, I guess because of your sight, all your other senses must take over even more. So
yeah, I'm very much. My hearing is very. It's not. I don't know if it's any better than anyone else, but I use it a lot, and it's amazing what you can actually sense from that. You know, when you're out biking and things like that, you can tell when the wind changes. You're coming past trees and stuff like that. So there's different readings that I get from that.
We're watching you being catapulted now. It's extraordinary the stuff you've done.
I've been very lucky, I must admit. Yeah.
So what's left for you to do now? What do you want to do?
Oh, there's lists upon lists. You know, I could be here all day telling you, but one of my passions would be I'd love to do a tandem base jump.
Yeah.
But most people that I ask about that just say, don't be daft, go away, leave us alone. I have had one company in America say they can do it and film and everything, but it's about $10,000. So not this year anyway.
That's a lot of dollars. So what do you say to people who maybe would have found out, like you did, that they have failing sight? And as I said, you know, we've sort of mucking about and being silly about this silly laser thing that I'm having on Friday. But when you found that out, and you can go one of either ways, what would you say to someone who was maybe in that situation now?
Well, I think, to be honest, as with me, you only have two options. You know, you're going to mope or you're going to enjoy yourself, and it's up to the individual. I mean, obviously, for me, I've got to say, you know, people should get out there and enjoy themselves. Yeah. But you can't force people to do it, but hopefully they will. Well, you are a real inspiration, a proper hero. Really absolutely magnificent. There's only you and Jack Osborne, I think, have abseiled down the side of our building, and he also is, of course, an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
That's right, yes.
So good luck and stay safe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much indeed, Dean.
Dean.
It's a great pleasure to meet you.